Do join us.
Now, in America, voting is underway in 15 states and 1 territory in what is known as Super Tuesday. Across the US, it is the biggest day so far for voters in the 2024 race for the White House, and the one day in the political calendar where most people vote to decide who will be the main candidates for November's presidential election. Historically, it gives us the clearest picture of how the election is shaping up. So far, it looks like it'll be a repeat of 4 years ago, with Donald Trump poised to win the Republican nomination after tonight and President Biden most likely on the Democrat ticket. Well, let's go straight to our North America editor, Sarah Smith. And is Donald Trump, poised to win?
It certainly looks like it. I'm here at a polling station in Virginia, which is a state that he is expected to win. And in fact, Mr. Trump himself has predicted he'll win all 15 states that have Republican primaries today. And for once, that's probably not an idle boast. That is probably true. And he has actually won every other contest, bar one, up to this point. He's only got one challenger left, Nikki Haley. And there are signs that she is actually preparing to pull out of this race, to drop her campaign. And the moment she does that, of course, Donald Trump would then become the presumptive nominee for the Republican Party. Now, that's something we've been predicting for weeks or months, actually. So how much difference would it actually make once it happens? Well, it means that for him, he can stop spending time and money campaigning against Nikki Haley or other Republican rivals, and he can train all his fire on Joe Biden, who is almost certain to be the Democratic nominee. So I think by the end of this week, you will feel as though we're already in that general election campaign. Trump versus Biden, once again, the same two candidates that we had in 2020, even though polls suggest American voters, nearly 70% of them, say they don't want that choice. They want to vote for new candidates. But the other thing, of course, is it will give Donald Trump more time to concentrate on his legal cases, because later this month, the first criminal trial starts in New York.
Sarah Smith, thank you. Well, one of the states voting today is Colorado. 4 years ago, Democrats won there strongly with 55% of the vote. President Biden is focused on standing in November, but what does he need to do to make sure he stays in the White House? Emma Vardy reports from Colorado.
Clawing your way up the approval ratings, essential if you want to persuade people to put you into the White House. But a problem for Joe Biden is a lack of enthusiasm on his own side.
I know. I think he's done a decent job as president, but I do feel like there's a lot of doubts about his leadership ability considering his age. I do worry about that's the guy we've put up.
Is it enough to make you want to vote Republican?
I would maybe consider it if it was Nikki Haley.
How worried do you think Democrats are about losing to Trump?
I think they've already defeated themselves.
Away from the ballot boxes, a cat cafe offers a little more comfort. Whatever your politics, voters on all sides here are unenthused about a Trump versus Biden rematch.
I'm completely uninterested in politics, probably just because I lack enthusiasm about our Democratic candidate. I just don't think he's really accomplished much. He's old.
Chiefs or Niners?
Two great quarterbacks.
But if age is just a state of mind, it hasn't stopped America's oldest ever president joining TikTok.
Game or commercials?
Game.
There's concerns about Donald Trump's age too, of course, but analysts say where it's really emerging as an electoral problem is for Democrats.
This is something that a lot of Democrats are worried about, just watching the polls that show it mostly to be a pretty close race, possibly with Trump in a slight lead. And I think the real trouble for Democrats is they don't really know what to do about it. So even if they could come up with an alternative candidate, it's really not clear who that would be.
Today, the president had more confidence in the numbers.
My poll numbers, the last 5 polls you guys don't report, I'm winning 5 in a row.
Super Tuesday has presented another problem. 6 states have added the option for Democratic voters to choose a non-committed option on the ballot paper. It's a protest vote against Biden's handling of the Israel-Gaza war.
Polling suggests the vast majority of people in the US have already made up their minds over who to vote for. So turnout matters, and if you haven't excited your side to get up off the sofa and go and vote, that could make all the difference.
With the election set to be decided by narrow margins, it may come down not to who votes, but who decides to stay at home with the cat. Emma Vardy, BBC News, Colorado.